We're recording. Hi, Dad.
Hello.
How are you feeling today?
Dad's feeling pretty good.
That's good. So,
How is baby girl?
doing well.
I'm glad you came up.
Me too. Can you give us your name? Birthday.
Thomas Adrian Taylor II, April 25th, 1970. Most of my fondest childhood memory, my cousins were involved. I was spending time with my cousins and playing. I had cousins in Shelby, North Carolina. I had cousins in D.C. So just playing with my cousins.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. One more time. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. One more time. Birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. May God bless you. May God bless you. May God bless you. May God bless you. And many more. Happy birthday, Tommy. We love you.
Any time that stands out in particular?
So my mom, it was just me and my mom growing up, and she traveled a lot and she visited relatives a lot. Like every weekend we went to see somebody. My Aunt Lou, my Uncle ML, my Aunt Betsy, and then we would visit our relatives in Charlotte, in Shelby. And so we did a lot of traveling and going to only at my Aunt Betty Mae, my Uncle Bobby, so and they all had kids. And so that was a every weekend thing.
Happy birthday, Tom. Hey, man, I want you to know, man, that I love you. I appreciate you. It's been wonderful being your uncle. A memory that I have, probably not going to be fond for you, but 42 years ago, I changed the TV in the kitchen in Mama's house, and you went back in the back and told Daddy. And at 7:30 at night, all Daddy said from the back was, Robbie, go to bed. No explanation or nothing. So that will always be ingrained in my heart of how you always got your way. And I'm glad to be able to say 42 years later as you turn 50 that I'm proud of you. You once asked me when I told you that I was getting married, Uncle, why would you do that? And I pray by now you have the answer to that, because now you have your own queen. So we had 31 years of marriage, and I know it's your birthday, but come get these 31, you and Christine. But I love you, man. Happy birthday to you. Wish you nothing but the best. You are a great nephew, and I appreciate you. And thanks for honoring us and trusting us to be your son's godparents. Love you, man.
May God bless you with 50 more years.
50 more.
50 more. God bless you. We love you.
Do you really think that I would miss the opportunity to say happy 50th? I was there in 1970 when a little boy that we used to call Snoopy came into our house, and I put him in my dog crib and put him in my bedroom, and he slept there until, 21? Tommy, I think that you know from the bottom, the top, and the sides of my heart how much I really love you. And there's nothing you can damn do about it. Happy birthday. 50 is a great number. And, Frat, you wear it well. Auntie, nothing but love for you.
So we were mischievous bad kids. We was badass kids. In the sense that we got in a lot of trouble and a lot of fights.
Happy birthday, Tommy. Oh my goodness. What an awesome, amazing time to celebrate 50 years. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I just wanted to say happy birthday to you, and I wanted to share my most memorable memory of you and I, which is when we were little kids. I would always have like a snack, like an ice cream pop or a piece of cake or a piece of pie or something like that. And you would always see me with my snack and you would say, let me get a little bit. And I'd be like, no. And you'd be like, let me get a little bit. I ain't gonna eat it all. Let me have a little bit. And I'd be like, no, you gonna eat all my stuff. And you'd be like, no, let me get a little bit. And so I would hand it over to you slowly and reluctantly. And then you would snatch it and you would take a big chunk out of my snack. Well, what goes around comes around. This is the birthday cake you would have gotten today, but because you're 300 miles away and there's no way to deliver it in time, I think I'm just gonna have a piece of this cake for you today. Delicious. Happy birthday.
We did the normal kid stuff, like we played kickball, hide and go seek. What else? We raced, like see who's the fastest. But we would wander off. Like I was always an adventurer, used to like go off walking for long distances without telling adults, where you are. I just like exploring my environment. To this day, I love nature. I love the woods. I love hiking. What's funny is my mom used to take me down to Clinton. And I don't know what it is about that road, Lee Street, but it smells like Lee Street. I can't describe the smell to you, but I can still remember what it smells like, that street. My Aunt Janice passed this past month or so. And so I was down there and I could smell it.
So what was your experience like with you and Nana, with it being just y'all two?
It's funny because I never really sensed that there was any type of hardship. When I was growing up and it was just her and I mean, we were all we had. I know as far as I was concerned, she was all I had. Even though, like I said, that's why she wanted to try and broaden and expand my circle. So that's why we visited family a lot. But, for the most part, it was just her and I never wanted for anything. I don't recall ever being hungry or lacked food or lacked clothes.
Good morning, Thomas. This is your mom. I'm calling because that time has finally arrived in about another day. I'm wishing you a happy 50th birthday. It has been an awesome journey growing up and watching you grow, and I've loved every moment of it. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. I hope that your next 50 years will be awesome, happy, successful, and as fulfilling as your first 50 has been. I love you. unconditionally, and I'm always here for you. So again, I wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas. Happy birthday to you. Love you much. Bye-bye.
You know, I was pretty taken care of. Now, having said that, I did grow up probably a little spoiled, maybe, because it was just me, so I didn't have to share anything. I remember one time, so when we were young, and this is probably a 70s thing, we had this thing called, you gotta call it, right? When you were kids. I called it, did you grow up like that?
Like you want something, you call it.
Right. Well, so you and your cousins or something, and you want it first, and you want it first before somebody else. You say, I called it.
Yeah, I feel like kids always do that.
Okay. All right. Well, so we did that, and I was the only child, so I never had to call anything. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know what they was talking about. So I remember one time I was over my Aunt Bet's house, and we used to try to fight and see who can ride in the front seats or whatever. And my cousin said, I got front seats going. I got front seats. And then my other cousin said, the same cousin said, I got front seats coming back. And so I got mad, right? I was like, how you gonna have front seats coming there and going? You can't have front seats coming there and going. And I remember my aunt. I said, Aunt Bet, how he gonna have front seats coming there and going? And my aunt Bet goes, well, baby, he called it. I was like, I went home, man. I was so confused by that whole scene.
Thomas Taylor, bro, you old as heck. 50 years old, yo. That's like, you like almost a dinosaur. Yeah, you old, bro. Nah, I'm messing, man. Happy birthday, bro. Happy 50th to you. I just want to say, man, when I first met you, I didn't think I was going to like you at all. You seemed so cocky, man, arrogant. I was like, yeah, he ain't going to make it. And he old as dirt, so yeah, he ain't going to make it. That can't be my LB. Lo and behold, man, you ended up being my right-hand man. And what better guy, man, to pick my right-hand man to you, bro. You have stood out, man. You have, like, freaking surprised me, man. You probably surprised the whole entire line. Man, from day one to now, man, much love to you, man, and I hope God bless you to see many more. And look, man, 50 years old, man, I can't believe him. I got an LB that's 50. Bro, you old, man. All right, bro, love you, bro.
When you're the only child, you're just not as aggressive going after things sometimes, right? And you got to fight through that, and you got to mature through that. When you become adulthood and you realize, okay, things aren't going to be given to you, right? If this is something you really want, then you got to be aggressive in going to get it.
What's up, doggy? Excuse the way I look, man. I just finished a run when I got a message from the bros that we supposed to be celebrating your 50th. So first of all, man, we've been friends for years. I had no idea when I met you in the barbershop that our friendship would last this long and we become brothers in the end. So I want to thank you for years of friendship. I want to thank you for years of brotherhood. Even before we were bros, we were brothers. So I appreciate all the advice you gave me coming up as a young kid, just trying to make it. And now that I'm here at this stage of my career, I still appreciate the things that you've done for me and continue to do. So happy birthday to the good bros. Shout out to your wife for getting this together, dog.
I'll talk a little bit about elementary school. I had really good teachers at Princeton. I loved the kids. I got in a couple fights. I was a popular kid. I don't know if I was funny or what, but I was always a popular kid, and I had some kids that I grew up in the neighborhood that I felt like, especially they lived on my block or whatever, that I felt like if they were being bothered or bullied in school, that you know, I would come to their rescue, and I wouldn't have that. So I've gotten in fights for my friends. My first girlfriend, I remember her name was Wendy Walters. So that was the first time I've experienced, like, I don't know what you call it at that particular time. I don't know if I felt like I was in love. But, you know, I was in the 4th grade. But I just remember doing anything and everything that she wanted me to do. I did whatever she wanted me to do to make her happy. You know, I guess my mother and her mother thought it was kind of cute or whatever, so they would take us to the movies or do whatever. So, but for whatever reason, it got a little twisted, because I don't know if Wendy, she kind of, I don't know if she felt like she took advantage of the situation. Let me just say that. So she felt like I would do anything for her that she says. So if she called me up and tell me to come by and go to the store and bring her some candy, she was starting to be mean about it. And she wasn't being a good girlfriend, as opposed to, you know, being nice or whatever and reciprocating. She started to be mean and bullyish. And, you know, it started to become embarrassing because other kids started to notice, and these were, mind you, Wendy had, she grew up in our neighborhood. She came to our neighborhood late. Like, the kids that I knew since kindergarten, where she came in around 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade. So she was a new chick, so maybe that's why I was smitten by her or whatever. But she started having me do crazy things and embarrassing me in front of my home girlfriends who've known me, Erica Lowe and Luce and maybe some Michelle or whatever. So, like I said, she would yell at me in front of everybody. What took you so long? You so stupid type deal. So I don't know why she turned left like that, but she did turn mean, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and it started not to be a pleasant experience anymore. So one day, the last straw was I was on top of the hill with my friends, and she said, and she was down there with her friends or my homegirls, and she screamed my name, Thomas, come down here now. So in front of everybody. So I came and ran down there. You know, like I said, I don't know why I was lunching like this, but so I came and ran down there, and she stood, and I can remember her as I'm going down the hill. She said, "Watch this," right? So it was almost, it didn't register with me at that particular moment. But as soon as I got, she said, "What took you so long? You so damn stupid, blah, 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 blah." And she smacked me. 4th grade. Oh, and she smacked me. And I swear I blanked out. But I smacked her back so fast. I mean, it was like she hit me and I hit her and said, I came right back at her and I said, "Don't you ever put," you know, that's when I got mad. I just lost it. But yeah.
She tried it.
And then we didn't go together no more. I don't think I ever told my mother that. And there was another time when I was in elementary school, this kid, he was new on the block, and his name was James Henderson. Now, James.
Wait, 1 second. You didn't tell Nana because you read why?
So that goes to a deeper conversation. So my mother, she worked, you know, late. So I was a latchkey kid. When I got home, I let myself in, made me something to eat. I went back, I can go outside and do whatever, so blah, 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 blah. But I think what happens is, if you grow up like that for a lot of years, there's a certain, me and my mother have the strongest bond, right? But at the same time, it was probably didn't have us as close. Like I wasn't confiding in my mother. And then I didn't have father figure either, so it wasn't a whole lot of confiding. Like there was things that I was growing up with, trying to understand as a kid, that, you know, I was just working through it, trying to figure it out myself or work through it with the other kids. We was raising each other, basically, you know what I mean? But that's not a knock on my mother. She did what she had to do to take care of us. So yeah, that was one incident in elementary. Another one was James Henderson when he moved to town. And he was a bully off the gate. This dude, we called him Head. And for whatever reason, this dude just likes to fight. Now, he could fight. I will say that. This dude could throw some hands. But I was never one to, like, unless you was Wendy Walters, you couldn't just bully me like that. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we was in the arcade. And I was real good at Gallagher. Gallagher was my favorite arcade game. And, you know, I used to have a high score on Gallagher and everything else. And everybody there's a crowd that used to form around me while I was playing Gallagher. I was that nice, I'm trying to tell you. So anyways, he was jealous or whatever. And he just punched me in the chest.
While you were playing?
Right, while I was playing. These disturbed individuals. And no, that wasn't what happened. Not that day. In this particular day at the arcade, I don't know. I think he slapped some quarters down out of my hand or something. For whatever reason, I didn't do anything that particular day. But one day at the playground, this dude runs all the way down the hill and wants to fight. So we fight. And then another day, we was boxing in the hallway. And so once he realized that I wasn't backing down anymore, you know.
Did he have a specific issue with you? Or he just didn't want
he was just a bully, but he didn't want anybody, you know, around his age. He wanted to be the baddest man on the block.
Happy birthday, Tommy. We love you.
I love you.
Happy birthday, Tommy. I love you. Have a great day.
So junior high school. Oh, one time. So yeah, I did get into the wrong crowd. There's one kid in junior high school. I think it was in junior high school. Yep. So we were in the 7th grade, and this 7th grade kid. So how old is that? 13. He steals a car. He stole a car and thought it would be cool to drive to school, right? wasn't the very brightest thing. I mean, he stole some guy's car.
Wow.
And we thought it would be cool to, you know, hey, we rolling up on school, we riding, we not even conceiving that we're not supposed to be driving, and it's gonna look like, you know. So anyways, we were driving to school in the stolen car, and we drove by this police car, and I remember the police were watching us. He was doing something, and then he saw us, and our little asses driving the car, right? And I remember looking at the cop, I was like, oh, he's gonna get us. And we didn't get probably about 100 feet. This guy turns on this side, police car turns on this side, turns around the car, comes after us. This is in Maryland, PG County. Actually, it happened in Upper Marlboro. Maryland is where we got put out. And the kid, my friend, he drove to the side, and everybody just scattered and ran in the woods. Police is running after us, and I'm running, and yeah, they eventually caught us.
You could have just hidden.
Well, we shouldn't have been in the stolen car in the first place. So, anyways, I remember my mom coming to get us.
From jail?
Yeah.
They put y'all in jail?
They had us held up at the local jails, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they didn't process us because we was...
They just had y'all sitting on the bench?
I don't remember that part. I just remember it felt like jail to me.
Did they put y'all in cells?
See, that's what I don't remember if he was actually in cell. I remember I was with my friend Lewis Matthews. Lewis Matthews was my best friend growing up. And it was his idea to follow this guy. And anyway, long story short, we got in big trouble. I think we got suspended for a couple of days on that.
Days?
Yeah. Because we didn't steal the car.
Oh, okay. What about the guy who did steal the car?
I think he got like a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. But he never even graduated from high school, so he was off to a bad start. But I remember going back to school and everybody thinking it was cool, right?
Wow. Okay.
It's like, oh yeah, I heard about y'all, man. It's like, y'all, man, y'all crazy, y'all wow. Y'all some wild boys, yeah, so we had street cred.
Hey man, I want to wish my Live 5, Thomas Taylor, a happy half a century. Man, continue living it up, man. I appreciate the words of encouragement, words of wisdom, man. Always letting your age lead, man. And, dog, we got 50 more, man. Keep rolling. Love you, dog. Rue.
My last day of junior high school, I had a beef with this dude named, I don't know Ra-Ra's real name, actually, but we called him Ra-Ra. I know who knows his real name, but anyways, he had a beef with me because I was dating a girl that he liked for like most of junior high school, and he hated that.
You didn't get over it after 2 or 3 weeks?
No, he never liked me. He never liked me because he couldn't bully me, and you know he was a bully. I don't know why I always have issues with bullies. But anyways, the last day of 8th grade, we walking down the hallway and we crossing paths. And I don't know what, I may have sensed something was about to happen, but I don't know what it was, but I just felt like something was about to happen. This dude, as he's walking by, punches me right in the chest. Boom! Right? I drop my books, I turn, and I just go after this dude. Like, I didn't care. I just blanked out again. And I'm hitting this guy, and they pulling me, and we fighting, blah, 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 blah. Next thing I know, we both in the principal's office. And the principal, you know, I told him my side. He told him everybody knew what happened, why the fight started. Anyways, he got suspended. It was the last day of school anyways. And she just told me to go back home. And my hand started to swell up. So I actually broke my hand. I hit this guy right in his forehead. Bam! And the next day, his friends was like, because I had to get a cast on my hand. And they was asking me about the cast and what happened. They was like, man, you should see him. He got a big old knot on his head about this big. So because I had gotten so much trouble in junior high with the stolen car and the fights, I was supposed to go to a public high school, Sintrel High School, but my mom was like, no, I don't think so. So she wanted me to go to a private Catholic school. I still to this day don't know how she paid for it. But my mom, thing about my mom is there's a way to do something, and she thinks it needs to be done. She'll figure out a way to do it. But she sent me to Bishop McNamara High School, and I remember I was angry at her for the whole summer. I hated the fact that I was going to go to an all-boys Catholic school. I was going to have to wear a shirt and tie every day. And, you know, it was going to be these preppy little kids and these rich kids, and I didn't feel like I was going to fit in. None of my friends was going, and all this stuff.
So, like, never mind.
You got a question?
Like, so that's why you told me you wear like ties to school every day.
Yes. It was actually the best thing that could have happened to me. Number one, I had no more distractions from girls, right? Not that I wasn't still interested in girls, but it wasn't in your environment anymore. The other thing is there was no more competition as far as clothes. I wore the same thing pretty much every day through high school, so it didn't matter, the new Jordans and so on and so forth. That's why I tell Trey, he needs to thank God for his mother, because every school year she buys him 5 new pairs of shoes. I would maybe buy him 2 or 1, and he's gonna have to make do. But anyways.
What was the demographic like at this school?
It was mixed. Okay. Yeah, it was probably half and half. Probably it may have been majority white then. You're talking about Upper Marlboro, Maryland, PG County in the late 80s, from 84 to 88. So PG County at that time was probably half and half. Now it's just predominantly black. Bishop McNamara High School has actually grown a lot. They merged remember I told you it was all boys? We had an all girls sister school called Lorraine. Well, after I graduated, they merged the two. There was so much that happened. Number one, my cousin moved in with us, my cousin Sean. And then my grandmother got sick, so she moved with us as well. And then my uncle moved in with us as well. So a lot of people moved in. And so it was just a different, it was different growing up with them being there. My cousin was selling drugs, and we shared a bedroom. And I never knew this, but he used to hide his drugs in the bedroom somewhere. Well, apparently he was being followed by some undercover cops. And I'll never forget, this might have been my senior year. So I turned 18 in April. So before I graduated, they was following him and tracking him for months. They raided the house. And he was a year younger than me, so he was 17. Well, when they raided the house, my grandmother was there, my mother was there, my aunt was there, Aunt Flo, Tasha was there. Everybody was there.
Like SWAT teams?
Like SWAT teams. And he wasn't even, wow. He was like a penny pincher. He was a small time little dope deal or whatever. So they were searching all over the house for it, right? And then they put us me and Sean in separate rooms. And they was talking to me like I was the kingpin, like I was the organizer, the lead guy in this organization. And he was like, I know you know what's going on. You the one that sent them out there. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? And I said, look, I don't know anything about this, but if there is something, he would know, right? Because I was afraid they was going to take my mother, get my mother in trouble or something. They eventually found it, and he eventually told them it was theirs. But the detective didn't want to charge him because he was a minor, and it wouldn't have gone anywhere, and it would have been a total waste of time. So he charged me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he charged me, and I was arrested, and I had to spend a day in jail. And that was the worst. I thought I was going to lose my, because I got accepted into Maryland. I thought I was going to lose my acceptance letter to Maryland. I thought my life was about to be over. It was just the worst experience. And I remember my mom picking me up from jail the next day with Sean in the back. And I got in the car and I just broke down. I knew he was selling drugs, but I didn't know what kind of drugs. I didn't know. And I remember meeting the undercover detective, the narc, out on the street. And it was strange to me. This is a black neighborhood. Why this older white dude's all of a sudden hanging around, you know what I mean? It was just weird. They eventually got the case pled to a smaller charge and then it was expunged. When I got out of jail, I wouldn't even jaywalk. That's how bad it was for me. We went to Crystal Skate a lot. We went to a few go-go's. You know, that kind of thing. Crystal Skate was real heavy. That's where you go and show off. I remember I was skating and this girl told me that I was cute, but I couldn't skate. I remember that. She said, he cute, but he can't skate, as I'm rolling by. I thought I was doing something too. Drug use was real heavy in my neighborhood too.
Like high school kids, or you're just saying like the neighborhood in general?
High school, junior high school.
What kind of drugs?
King, go in the other room. Because I said so. It was this thing called PCP. Put it on marijuana. What was this? Marijuana, PCP. It wasn't a heroin around in our neighborhood, but there was cocaine, powdered cocaine, and then in high school was, of course, the crack epidemic. So, you know, a lot of neighborhood friends of mine lost their way. I think the only thing that saved me, that I was able to get the deal that I got, was because I went to private school. And the detective who arrested me, his brother went to my school. He was in my high school. And so they probably cut me a break on that, but they shouldn't have arrested me in the first place because they knew I wasn't. But anyways, my prom, I went to a prom with, man, I can't even remember her name. She asked me to her prom, but I didn't ask her to my prom.
Why not?
Because it was this other girl that I wanted to go with.
Okay.
But the other girl ended up standing me up.
Oh, at like day of prom?
No, like maybe a couple weeks before, she wasn't responding, so I was like, she ain't trying to go.
That's not so bad. Like a couple,
Well, I ended up asking the girl that took me to her prom.
And how did that work out?
She felt some kind of way.
How did she know?
How did she know what? Because it was like 2 weeks. Oh, you want to go to my prom? Why you just asking me?
Oh.
So I said, well, you can wear the same thing you wore at your prom. We took our pictures at her prom. Mm-hmm. And I remember taking them to school and showing everybody the pictures. Mm-hmm. So at my prom, you know, they was like, what gives? Why you wearing the same shit? Like, damn, dude. Now, here's a bad story. I regret this to this day. My junior year, I was invited by a girl that I was dating at the time. She went to school in Virginia, and she invited me to her prom. And, you know, I'm doing this thing on my own. I'm trying to, you know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, you know. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to pick her up, but I wasn't driving. I didn't have a car. I just really wasn't on top of it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I'm scrambling like at the last minute, trying to get my stuff together to, you know, take her to her prom, and it just wasn't working out. Mom didn't have any money to help me, and, you know, the money I'd saved, you know, I worked at Bob Big Boys as a waiter. I was spending it, you know, I wasn't really saving it. So, long story short, my uncle who lived with us had this big, ugly, green van. It was ugly, like puke green. And again, I couldn't drive, so my uncle, he drove me to pick her up. And I remember going up to her house. She lived in a really nice neighborhood, right? It was like, wow. I didn't know, because that was the first time I'd gone to her house. I remember pulling up to her driveway, and the van started shaking and making a lot of noise. And I saw people looking around, looking out of the car. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part is I was late.
Wait, this was hers or
her prom? I knocked on the window, and her mother answers the door. And mother just said, "You know you ain't right," or something like that. Right? And I remember my Uncle Pete saw her mom, was like, "Tommy, tell that woman to come here. She finding a motherfucker."
Oh, Lord.
And her friends had stayed with her because they didn't want to go to prom, because she was crying and upset. Because we had missed, it was late, it was too late to go.
Oh, wow. I thought you meant like a little late.
No, I was late.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I told her I was so sorry. She said, "How can you do this to me? This is my prom. I'm not going to get another one, Thomas." It was so bad. I felt so bad. And so, fast forward to my prom. She's in college now. She went to James Madison, and I remember calling her up because I was going to invite her to my prom to make it up, right? She said, "Why are you calling me?" I says, "Well, you know what I'm calling you for, right?" And she says, "No." I says, "Well, my prom is coming up." She hung up.
You thought you were doing this.
She hung up. I called her back. She said, "Thomas, you gotta be kidding. No, that's not gonna make up for it." She's like, but so yeah, I fumbled on that really bad.
Happens.
But I'll never forget the day that Len Bias died. Do you know who Len Bias is? You don't know who Len Bias is? Len Bias is the greatest basketball player in the state of Maryland's history. He played for the University of Maryland. He's a local boy, local PG County dude. I think he played for high school in Bladensburg High. Went to University of Maryland. He played at Maryland. You know, Maryland used to be an ACC, but he played the same time period that Michael Jordan played. You know, I feel like he was better than Michael Jordan, at least on the college level. He was twice voted ACC Player of the Year, and he was once voted National Player of the Year while Michael Jordan was playing at Carolina. So that gives you a little perspective. So he was our local guy, local hero. He played for 4 years at Maryland. He was easily going to be, if not the first, the second round draft pick in the NBA draft. So he got drafted by the Boston Celtics. I believe that was in 1986. Like, they had Larry Bird, they had Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale. They had won 2 titles already, been to 3 finals or whatever. So he was going to make them even better than what they were. But a day after he was drafted, he died. And I'll never forget, when he died, my uncle Rob came in my house early morning. I think it was Saturday or something. I didn't have to go to school, so it must have been a Saturday. He came in my house early Saturday morning, like 9 o'clock, knocking on the door. And, you know, I didn't know why he was there. And, you know, I'm wiping the sleep out of my eyes. And I said, "What's up, Uncle Rob?" And he says, "Hey, did you hear?" And I said, "No." "What?" "Len Bias died." And I couldn't stand up. I got so weak. I mean, he was like the biggest idol in the state of Maryland. I know for me.
Were you playing basketball at the time?
Yeah, I was playing basketball, but I mean, he was just that big. Like, he was a big deal. And he died of a drug overdose the day after he was drafted by the Boston Celtics. He never even signed a pro contract. Cocaine overdose. It was a big scandal. They made new drug laws because of Len Bias's death.
Happy 50th birthday, brother. It's been a long time coming, you know, and even though we don't, you know, talk as much as we used to, try to here and there. I know you're busy. I'm happy for all your growth and success and your family, man. I love you to death. And, you know, I just wish more blessings upon you, you know, as you go on. Another 50 years, you know. So hope you have a nice birthday today, a nice weekend, and hope to see you soon.
I used to smoke cigarettes, actually, 20 years. I started smoking cigarettes at the University of Maryland. My first girlfriend, she smoked cigarettes. And then I started smoking cigarettes. I think I was 19. And I smoked for 20 years. At age 39, I just didn't want to start smoking cigarettes in my 40s. Somebody asked me one time, why you stopped smoking cigarettes? 20 years was long enough, I thought. But about 5 years later, I started smoking cigars, and I don't know, psychologically, it doesn't seem like it's as bad for your lungs, and it's not, but at the same time, you still get nicotine in your system. But I went to the doctor last year, and she said I needed to stop drinking wine and stop smoking cigars. I'm like, well, damn, can't I do nothing? I can't do nothing. That was my life. So as you can see, I got a stick here and some wine here. So that didn't really stick. So I just been trying to work out, man. And there was a lot that happened in my first year of college. Number one, our house burned down. My first year in college.
Who did you have a house with?
I was living with, my mom's house.
Oh, okay.
Nana, my mom was living here with my grandmother and my cousin Sean. I don't think he had left yet. He might have left yet. But my grandmother used to smoke cigarettes in bed.
Oh.
And she fell asleep and the cigarette caught on fire.
Oh, no.
The whole house burned down. And I was in college at the time. I was out partying.
That's terrible.
And then my mother called me and I rushed over there. I was with my friends. We rushed over there. And she was out in the middle of the street crying with the daggone house on fire. My grandmother had a mask on. Yeah, it was a bad visual. Only good part about it is the insurance company covered everything. College was great. I loved the University of Maryland. We had a black newspaper. I wrote a couple articles for that, I think.
Okay.
And then they had the black, well, it wasn't even a black, it was just a commuters association because I started to commute.
Interesting.
And I met my first real girlfriend during that time too. She was 4 years older than me. In fact, I met her my freshman year. I was 18. Your boy used to, he was very charming back in the day. It was a great experience, University of Maryland. It was a white institution, but we had a real strong, deep African-American student body. We were thick. They came from all over. So when I graduated, I eventually landed a job as a junior analyst at this defense contracting firm called Caliber. And that was like my first real job. I think I'll never forget, my salary was $26,000. I thought that was big money. My mom, she had just got married. And my stepfather wanted me out of the house. I guess he felt like I was grown and I don't need to be in the house, and I didn't want to be in the house anymore. I never forget when she first got married. So my mother married and remarried again late. So I was in college. I was probably about 22. And, I didn't know a whole lot about the guy or whatever, but they got married and he moved in. And I was still in college. So if you a college kid and you live near your home, most likely you're gonna come to the house back and forth every now and again or whatever, especially to wash your clothes. And I used to do that. So one day, in the middle of the day, I came home to wash my clothes like I always did. Still had a key, and I'm washing my clothes and I'm sitting on the couch. We just had the phones where if somebody else is talking and you pick up another phone in the house, you can hear the other person talking. And I pick it up and my stepfather is cursing my mom out. Like, I mean, just going bananas because I'm home washing clothes. And I said, and I never heard my mother. You know my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is sweet as pie. She don't, I never heard anybody talk to my mom. So I just lost it.
Mm-hmm.
I bust in the door. I said, motherfucker, you got something to say to my mom? Say it to my mom about me. You can say it to me. You ain't gotta call my mom up, right? Man, we got into a big fight. It was a big. I think that weekend I moved out. But I got my first job in Caliber as a junior analyst. It was a really, really good company. This company had 25% returns every year. I mean, it was just an amazing company. They had profit sharing and stock options. And so it was a great company. And I worked there. I rose up through the ranks. I was a junior analyst. I was an analyst. And then I was a management analyst, financial and management analyst. And then I managed my own projects. So I'd been there for 10 years. And that was going great. At first I was living in PG County in Suitland. And then I moved to Northern Virginia off of Duke Street. And then from there, I bought my mom's house. She moved, she was relocating, she was selling the house. I said, well, I'll just buy it.
Is that the house that's still there, that you still own?
Yeah, it's still there in Suitland. So I still own that house. And I live there. And I used to come back and forth to North Carolina because Travis was playing ball at North Carolina Central. And I had my Aunt Janice was down here in Durham. I had family in Charlotte area. North Carolina Central's homecoming. I think that was in 2002. Yeah, it was Central homecoming. That's where I met your mom.
Figured that's where you were going?
Huh?
So I figured that's where you were going?
Yeah, that's where I met your mother. Her and Aunt Tanya. And this dude she was dating named Gary. So, your mother tells the story wrong.
We met at the Marriott, North Carolina Central's homecoming.
Okay, get down to the details.
I saw him. He was standing, and he did a little LL move. He did one of these. He was just standing over there. I don't know if Travis was with him or whoever. He was there with Travis, essentially. But he did one of these. And I saw it. And I thought it was funny. So I went over and I spoke. And I said something like,
somebody must have told you you have sexy lips.
Wow.
Right?
Basically, I felt like he thought he was being sexy because it was an LL move. But he took it as if I was saying, oh, that's sex.
She tried to cover it up, but your mother pushed up on me.
I approached Thomas first. Me approached him. I never asked for numbers. So that's a negative. So he asked me for the number. I did approach him first, but the follow-up came from him.
And I said, is that right? And then I spoke to her, exchanged her number. I don't know if I got her number then when we was talking a little bit. And then I seen her later outside about to leave. And then I pushed up on her, got her number.
Happy 50th birthday, Dad. We love you, Thomas. We are blessed to have you as the head of our household. My bae, my protector, my boo, my headache. Yes, all of that. I love you, and God bless. We wish you 50 more if you're still in good health and mental and physical, both of them.
That's when we started dating, talking to her. I was actually in a relationship when I met you.
What happened?
It wasn't working out. So this girl that I was dating, Northern Virginia, I was dating her for 6 years. This was the second. We had some issues. Long story short, I was gonna marry her, and then she said yes. But then, she was really young. She was like 7 years younger than me. She was just too scared. But at that time, I was like, girl, you tripping. So, she left the door open. Because when she changed her mind, I kind of checked out emotionally. And so, things was going well. When I met Christina, things was going all right. And I told them one day we gotta break up. And so, Tasha, my cousin, was like a sister to me. She called me one day. In fact, your mother was on her way in town. And the day before that, I went over to my mom's house. And I told my mom what was going on and everything. Maybe I was a little upset or whatever. I wasn't, it was just a conversation with me and my mother. She told Tasha, and Tasha just blew it all out of proportion. So she comes, go back inside. When Tasha found out that me and Maybeth had broken up and I was upset about it, she comes over with my other cousin Monique. They both come over and pack Mebet's shit and kick her out the house. And so Mebet had to get her shit. She had to have a moving van and had her uncle come get her shit. And that same day, your mother came up to visit. I don't know if she knew the whole story or not, but she found out the whole story that day.
So, like, as Mebet was moving?
Right.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot. But that's when your mother and I started dating seriously. I started getting to the church a lot more. I started to change a little bit. I was kind of going through some hard times as far as my direction in life. Not really knowing what I wanted to do. Maybe dealing with some bad people or whatever. Then we was talking about insecure, how you just kind of outgrow certain people in your life. That's very true. I'm going in this direction. Or I should say God's pulling me in this direction. I'm trying to live a better life and be a better person. And they're not. And every time I hang out with them, I end up doing stuff that I'm trying to get away with. So I got my MBA, and my first job out of graduate school was chief financial officer of a commercial real estate firm. So it was like the perfect job. This company called Neiman Capital, and things were going well. This was in 06, 07. So around 07, 08 is when the market crashed. I met my dad for the first time after I graduated college. So I was 23, and it was just curiosity. I wanted to get to know him at that point. And my mother still had my grandfather, my dad's father's phone number. And she gave it to me, and I reached out to him. And then he gave me my dad's home phone number. I called, and his wife answered the phone, Lisa. At that time, Michelle and Alex were little girls. When they flew me down there to Tampa, they met me at the hotel with a big limousine, and it was cool meeting him, getting to know him. I don't know, my expectations was more in the beginning, but as I've gotten to know him, it's just kind of who he is. I would like for him to be more involved in my kid's life. never really held any grudges towards him because our relationship was pretty good. You know, it was growing, we were getting to know each other, we were spending time with each other and so forth every once in a while. It just felt like I was doing the trying. Now, over the past, I would say 10 years or so, he's done a lot better. You know, he initiates stuff and so forth, and I've gotten closer to my sisters. And then Olivia, the youngest girl, she was in the wedding. She was one of the flower girls.
Happy birthday, Thomas!
50.
Happy birthday, bro. We love you.
Well, hey, T, you 50? How come you keep getting older and I keep getting younger? How that happen?
Love you.
Love you, baby.
Happy birthday, big bro.
Happy birthday. Live it up. Live it up.
We hope you have a great birthday. Turn up. We love you so much, and we'll talk soon.
You're a legend.
Happy birthday, Tom Jr. Here's to you turning 50, and may you have 50 more. Have a great...
Do you remember how it felt when you found out that she was pregnant with Trey?
I was happy. I was excited. I mean, it happened fast. We was married in September. Your mama was pregnant in October. So we weren't playing around. You know the funny story about that? Did I tell you that how I found out it was a boy?
I don't think so.
So I didn't want to know what sex it was. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So I told everybody, don't tell me nothing. Your mother wanted to know, of course, all the family wanted to know. And so Trey was born June 30th. In May, like a month before, your Uncle Junior got sick, right? I don't know what he was sick, but he was in the hospital. I don't know why he was sick. But I went by to see him, and he was all drugged up, and he was all medicated, and it was me and Granddaddy was there, and I just came by to visit him. Blah, blah, blah. Him and Granddaddy was talking, and they was talking about how many kids he had, how he had 2 girls, and how he always wanted a boy, and he said, and Thomas is lucky, he got a boy on the first try. I was so shocked, right? I was speechless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking at him. I said, Junior, I wasn't supposed to know that. And I walked out. I was so hot. I had to walk out and walk around the hospital. And I was so mad at him. I said, and to this day, I said, listen, if you ever in your life want your child, the sex of your child kept a secret, I promise you I'm telling you.
That's petty.
I promise you. It's going to be told. And turns out he had, 5 more boys?
Yeah.
So, he had 2 girls and then he had 5 more boys.
How did it feel being a new dad?
It was, I don't know, it's funny, once you're committed into a situation and you have children, I mean, it kind of comes natural. I didn't feel like it was that difficult. You know, your life, of course, a lot of the things that you normally do, you know, you can't be as selfish. It's all about the kid. You know, you kind of balance it out with your spouse as far as who's the primary caregiver at that particular moment, because maybe your spouse have to do something or whatever, work or whatever. So you kind of balance those things out. You know, I was excited about it. My mom was excited. That was her first grandchild. You know, a lot of people, a lot of the family came down to see Trey. To be honest with you, I feel like Trey and I could be closer. You know. You know, I try to be patient That's the one thing you have to be as a parent,
Mhm.
especially as a father with his son, because there's so much that you want to teach him. But you guys are from different phases and stages in life. So I've tried to be more conscious about maybe I should explore and be interested in some of the things that he's interested in so that we can share stuff. Well, a perfect example was last night was the premiere of The Last Dance. It's a five series, actually it's 10. It's a 10-part series of the Chicago Bulls and them winning their 6 championships. And I know he likes Michael Jordan. And I wanted to share that with him, and I went upstairs last night. I said, Trey, it's on. Let's watch it together.
Mhm.
He said, no. He was in the middle of playing this game. He said, I'll watch it when I feel like watching it, or I'll watch it when I want to, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm not going to press him about it, but I felt a little kind of way about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, I can't do nothing with you. Funny, because I feel like and it's hard to tell, because King may switch up on me, just like Trey did.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like me and Kingston have a better bond or connection than Trey and I. And maybe it was, when your mother and I broke up, and Trey maybe didn't take that very well. So the other night, no, you wasn't here, but this was before you came, maybe a week or so before you came up this time. Your mother and I was in an argument, but Kingston was right there, and he was upset. And I went out the house, and I just drove. I came back. When I came back, Kingston, he wanted to call a family meeting. So he calls a family meeting. He wants to discuss this. Everybody had to come. Me, Mommy, Trey. Everybody had to sit down, and we had to listen to Kingston. He said, I don't think it's right for us as a family to be fighting. It's not nice. We're supposed to love each other, and it's just not right, and I don't like it. And it really hurts my feelings, and it's scary. And, he just kind of went all, And so everybody had to comment on what Kingston said. I said my piece about it, and, I promised him we're going to do better. We got around to Trey, and Trey got upset when he was talking. He said, I just don't want y'all to get divorced again. And so it just triggered, when your mom and I did split up. I wonder how that affected him and how that affected he and I's relationship.
I never thought about that before.
Yeah, I think it may have caused a rift because he definitely, I feel like he's closer to his mom. He can talk to her. He feels more comfortable talking to her about issues. So, whatever makes him come. I don't want him to feel pressure that he has to do anyway, but I just want him to know that there's other perspectives, right? Other than his mom's perspective. There's nothing wrong with your mom's perspective, but eventually you're going to have to come see me. I'm a grown man. Your mother's not a grown man. And I just think he's missing out. And what kind of bothers me a little bit about that is when I was his age, I was craving a relationship with my father. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I wish I had my father to talk to. Now I can talk to him about anything, and he can give me his perspective, and it's beautiful because he gives me things that he's gone through 20 years ago. He knows exactly what I'm feeling. He can, articulate it before I even finish. Oh, yeah, so you feeling this way, yeah, I understand what you're feeling, blah, 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 blah. And so, there's some validation about that. There's a lot that you can get from your parents your parents are always going to it's not like they're gonna steer you in a direction that's just bad. Like, oh, I'm gonna steer her in the wrong direction so she'll end up in the gutter right there, right?
Mhm.
Your parents are never gonna do that. It's always coming from a place of love, but sometimes what's required is a hard road. And I'm telling you, y'all, sometimes the best way is the hard way, because there's things that you can learn while you're going through that, and that's what makes you stronger.
Hello, Daddy. It's your birthday, and I love you. And you're the best. And also, you are the best person ever.
Any memories?
One time you gave me Hulk, a new Hulk, and Thanos with Mommy. So you're the best person ever.
I remember when I went away to college, I told my mom I was going to make all this money, I was going to be rich, and I was going to take care of her. My mom had to take care of my grandmother and so forth. So there was a lot of financial planning and financial literacy, a lack of financial planning and literacy in the African American community. And I'd been training and doing a lot of that stuff for businesses and corporations for 15 years, and I said, well, why don't I do that for individuals? And that's when I decided that I was going to be a financial advisor and not only help ordinary families, but also people with wealthy families and helping them keep their monies, and professional athletes as well. So I started doing insurance, then group insurance, and then group investment plans, and got my necessary license, became a broker, and so forth. So I've been doing that since 2007. So what are we, 2020? So yeah, 13 years, and way more enjoyable, way more personable, way more personal, I should say, way more intimate. You're dealing with people's lives and their financial futures, and you're trying to help them navigate. You're trying to help them navigate their financial lives and be successful financially, and help them plan and also prepare for a rainy day or a sunny day. Right? So that's the advice I would give you, and along with my other kids. When you're doing something, and you probably heard this, but when you're doing something that you enjoy, it doesn't seem like work. I would say finding whatever passion you have within inside of you, and pursue that, but pursue it aggressively. You know what I mean? Just don't wait for it to come to you. Go get it. Right?
Hey, Dad, I just want to say I love you. I appreciate you so much. This has been a pleasure getting to know you more through creating this. I want to let you know that I think you are an amazing dad. I really admire everything that you do here in the home, along with your daily life, balancing it all. I think you're a very beautiful, humble, amazing soul. I'm glad to be a part of your life. I'm glad to have you as a dad. I just appreciate you, and I love you, and I'm so happy that you're turning 50, that you're in great health, and you're here, and you're happy, and you have so much family that loves you. It's such a blessing, and yeah, just thank you.
So I miss DC a lot, and the DC area a lot. Number one, it's way more culturally diverse. It's a strong African American community there, obviously, but you get people from all over the world, and when you grow up with them, you find yourself experimenting and trying, Lebanese food, or because your friend in high school was Lebanese, or Ethiopian food, or Mediterranean. But then also Man, I miss the lounges. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The thing about DC I love the most is the lounges are so fat. You can go any night of the week, stop at a lounge and listen to some jazz, or there may be some poetry going on this block or whatever, and you can just kind of hang out and listen. And, whatever you want. You want to go to a play, you can go to plays anytime you want. At museums, and then if you're like, I'm a political junkie myself. Just to be in the circles and hang out with people who are working for Congress or working for the Hill, or working for the White House, or working for government, or what have you. And they have a lot of, like the Congressional Black Caucus, they're always having stuff going on. You want to hang out and meet them people. Or they also have these policy talking groups that you can kind of talk policy and just kind of hang out and that kind of stuff. So from that perspective, I do miss a lot of the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, the culture.
Yeah.
And you can't replicate that here. But at the same time, this is a family place. My mother's from the South. It's simpler. It's a safe place to raise kids. I miss my friends sometimes, but I've met new friends here.
Happy birthday, TT. 50 years old, dog team, man. We proud of you, man. We love you, dog. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your family, man. Take care of yourself. Happy birthday, team. Root.
Cuz, what's up, man? Happy birthday, boy. Most of us don't live to see 50, man. Bless. Have a ball, man. I wish I could live it up with you. I'll probably throw a couple shots back for you, man. All right? Love you, boy. Peace.
What up, TT? Happy birthday, man. Congrats on the big 5-0. Continue to thank God for the blessings he's given you these 50 years, man. Beautiful family, friends that love you, man. Wish you nothing but blessing on your next 50, man. Continue to be the live 5, dog. Rue, BLQ.
Yo, happy 50th birthday to my man TT, my front, my live 5, the right-hand man, the one that ain't never passed me no info. Nah, I'm messing with you, dog. But yo, man, enjoy your birthday, man. Many blessings. Yo, hope you have 50 more. Love you, brother, man. Enjoy yourself. Root to the good bros.
Hey, how's it going? This is James Collins. Wanted to take the opportunity to wish TT a happy 50th. Dog, I miss you. I regret that we're in this position of having to maintain physical distance, but obviously in the interest of health and safety, you want to make sure we kind of abide by the executive order. But I hope to see you soon. Hope you enjoy your birthday. God bless you, and I hope you have many more. Rude dog.
Yo, to my 5, happy birthday.
What's up, Q? This is EK coming at you. Want to shout you out and wish you a happy birthday. Enjoy your day, big dog. Rue.
TT, what's good, my brother? Happy 50th birthday, bro. Hope you enjoy this day, man. I'm sorry I can't be up there and hang out with you, but we'll link up soon. Root to the Qs.
Happy 50th birthday, Thomas. May you enjoy a blessed and awesome day, brother, and have 50 more wonderful years.
Sending a shout out to the live 5 on this big 5-0. Happy birthday, doggy. Root to the Qs.
T, have a wonderful birthday, man. I know this is craziness we're having to deal with right now, but hey, hopefully for your 51st birthday, we can make it up. But for this one, you're surrounded by family and loved ones. So hey, man, enjoy it, and talk to you soon.
Hi, Thomas, a.k.a. my bestie's boo. Sending you a very special, happy 50th birthday wish. Hope you have a great day. Love, peace, and blessings.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as the kids are happy. I just want them to spread their wings a little bit.
Where would you say is your favorite city to travel to?
Well, see, that's a tough question because when you're traveling, you're just kind of exploring. I mean, that's how I look at it. So I like all new stuff that I've never been before, right? Okay. And when I was working as a project manager for a defense contracting firm, I had the pleasure of having to travel all over the world because they had contracts with Army military bases across the world. So wherever Army military base was, that's where we got to go. We got to go to Germany, we got to go to Japan, we got to go to Hawaii, we got to go to Alaska, Panama. I went to Panama. And so when I was there, I went out and I tried to, sample the culture. There's a life outside of your world. There's a lot of world to see. I'll tell you about Alaska first. So we had to go to Alaska in the dead middle of winter there. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine, Alaska's already cold, right? So in the winter, it's like below 20 is the average temperature. Mm-mm. And so we had to go there, and I remember the first week I caught the flu. I mean, I'm shaking in meetings, I'm doing this, and I'm just sick for the first week. But we were there for 2 weeks, but I'd start to feel better. And I always wanted to go hunting, right? I always wanted to go hunting because, growing up in the DMV, you don't get a lot of opportunities to go hunting. These guys that live there, they go hunting all the time. Now, mind you, these were guys I didn't really know. And they were white guys. Not that, I'm uncomfortable around white guys, but for whatever reason, I was hesitant a little bit, right? And so, they're asking me every day. So we're going hunting Friday, right? We're going hunting, and I said, yeah, we're going hunting. And every day they're reminding me, okay, you got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be there. And the night before that I was packing to go hunting with them, I don't know, it's almost like I heard my mama's voice, right? It was almost my mother's voice spoke to me. My mother's alive, but I heard her voice, and she said, "Boy, you done lost your mind." That's the thing as I'm packing. It's like, wait a minute. We get out there in the wilderness of Alaska with some strange dudes, some strange white dudes that I don't know, and I don't know anything about. And I'm out there. I've never been hunting before. So they can make up any story, Yeah. I just didn't feel. So I played sick like I still had to. I was like, man, I'm not going to make it. But I had to cancel out, and I was thinking, and I told my mother the next day. She said, "Yeah, I raised you better than that. You thought you must have lost your mind." Yeah. But Panama was beautiful. Panama people are brown. They're Hispanic. They speak Spanish, but most of them are brown, Black African-looking people. The dollar was worth so much there that, it was just, you was like a rich person if you made $50,000, $60,000 there. And I remember getting off the plane, and this guy was hassling me about helping me with my baggage. Mm-hmm. And, I got you. I'll take your baggage to the CAG. I got you. I said, all right, man, take the baggage. I'll figure out tip him. So when he took my baggage to the car, and I gave him like $3, and the guy just stood there. He was just like, he just looked at me and he looked at $3. He's like, come on, man, $3? I got wife and kids, blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, well, dang, dude, yeah, all right, I give you a few more dollars, right? if it's that serious. Mm-hmm. So I ended up giving him maybe another $5, right? Mm-hmm. And then this dude, and I noticed his partner was over there on the side laughing, right? Mm-hmm. What the hell they laughing at, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, whatever, man, go ahead, thank you. So I get in the car, and the taxi man said, hey, man, how much money you get that guy? I said, I gave him $8. He's like, man, you gave that dude $80? I said, what? It's like, yeah, you just gave him $80.
Wow.
But it was that equivalent. The dollar was that valuable down there that, you know, I had no idea.
Yeah.
They didn't prep us for that.
Yeah.
So he got me.
Well, at least he didn't really. I mean, he got you, but he didn't really
Right.
you.
Well, nah, he got me. I felt like he got me.
So, what is your favorite art medium?
Writing. I think I'm a pretty good writer.
Really? What type
I
of
don't
writing?
write enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fiction.
Okay.
Just like telling stories, exploring the mind.
That's interesting.
A lot of my favorite books are autobiographies, and particularly about politics or some type of political policy or something like that.
You have a favorite film?
So I like multiple genres. There's no specific genre I don't like. There's a movie, and you know, I'm always giving you these movies to watch.
I saw Jungle Fever the other night too.
Did you like it?
It was okay.
It was okay. I smoked the TV, Mama. That was a funny movie. I want you to go see a movie called The Remains of the Day with Anthony Hopkins. It's about this butler in England who worked for a very wealthy family, and he falls in love with this head of the maids. I don't know what you call that. He was the head of the butlers, and she was the head of the maids. And he has a hard time expressing, relinquishing his duties and having a life for himself, and being able to love outside of his own life, outside of his own duties, I should say. And she was more, look, if we love each other, what are we going to, let's just do it. And anyways, I think you would like that for me. That's a romantic film. But the dialogue, I like rich dialogue in my movies. And that dialogue is real good in that movie. Other movies I really like. But I like dramas, and I like movies with rich dialogue. So I got that book when I was 16 years old as a birthday gift. 16 years. And you know, it gave me a perspective of being able to overcome life's, you know, obstacles and bad times in your life, and being able to come out of there and still be successful and still make something out of yourself. And it also explored how lost you are as a young adult, right? Not to mention teenager, but even as you grow out of your teens and you start in your early 20s, I mean, if you don't really know, and you know, you could be one of those people who really know at an early age what they want to do, and they've always wanted to do it, and they find a passion early in life. But most people, it takes them a little while to kind of find their niche and find out what exactly they want to do. And so in the meantime, you can be, I know for me, even though I knew I was interested in finance, I really didn't know how that was going to play out. You know, I got some passions in my life, right? So there's only a few of them, and finance is probably last. Even though it is a passion, but I love politics. I'm a political junkie. I love boxing. I really enjoy writing, and then I love finance. So you have all of these interests in your life that you as an individual kind of, you know, are drawn to, And then becoming a full-fledged adult is the process of merging all of those things.
Do you have a life philosophy?
So yeah, and a lot of it's probably from my mom. Glasses always half full. Always maintain your optimism. Make sure you're not easily bothered by small things. Maintain some perspective. You're gonna go through life, and it's gonna be, certain things are gonna be uncomfortable. You have to be able to thrive in your discomfort, right? You have to learn how to do that, because there's always going to be something a little wrong about a situation, a little uncomfortable. And if you allow that little thing to bog you down and freeze you, prevent you from moving forward and being happy, enjoying the moment, even in your discomfort. Life's gonna be, you're gonna be unhappy a lot, right? You gotta feel good about that. Don't let small things bother you. And then also, so one of the things though that I do need to work on is my filter, right? That you probably noticed already. My filter's broke sometimes. I just gotta blurt things out in the awkward situations. But a lot of times it's just me trying to cut to the chase and get to the nitty gritty of what the issue is, or what we're talking about, or what's bothering you, or what other kind of disagreement. So it overruns the pleasantries or the discomfort, and it just goes right to it. Sometimes you have to do that though. Sometimes that's more efficient.
So, how do you feel about turning 50?
So, I'm really proud. I gotta say, I know a lot of people didn't make 50.